Hi all, here's another episode of Build the Millennium Falcon. It's issue number 53 this time. I've got the next, well, I've just had a delivery of 4 of these, 4 issues. They come around the 20th of each month. So it's 24th today. Been a little bit busy with work and other stuff, so sorry for the delay, but I'm going to crack on with this now and put these together. So let's open this up, see what we've got to do this week. Okay, so it's more framework. We're assembling the top half of the whole framework here. So a bit more of that. It looks like we're assembling a second jig. I'm not sure if we're reusing parts from the first one. We'll find out shortly. Starting to think it might be a completely new jig for the top half, so that means the other one can rest safely while we're building this one up. And then we've got some plastic details. This is one of the equipment recesses on the upper hull, so nothing too drastic by the look of it, so let's get started. Okay, yeah, so fairly straightforward. We're just taking the 2 pieces that come with this issue, 53, which is TF 17 and 18. We're joining those 2 together, and then we're just getting that ready to go on to the top of the framework we've got so far, so all pretty straightforward so far. And that's what we get once TF 17 and 18 are together. Basically gives us pretty much a quarter of the upper framework. So framework wise, that's it for this issue. Very straightforward. So I'm going to move on to the next section, which is to create, and I think we'll look at it, use the jig assembly, so we'll get on to that right now. Okay, as it's pretty cold out there in the shed, in fact you can probably see the roof there, it's still all iced up. I've got a heater on in there, but it's still pretty chilly. Plus I'm waiting for a delivery, so I thought, well, I'll set up in the warm, I can listen out for the postie, and I can get on with this. So I'll get all the bits and pieces ready. We're going to start assembling the upper hull framework jig next, so we've got something to work on. I'm assuming we're just going to leave the other one on the lower hull on the original jig, so let's get on with that and see what we do. Okay, the jig just assembles one way, and that's what you should be left with at the end. So we've got the lower frame. I've just got a big piece of wood here, it's not big enough, I'm going to have to get a second one and find some space for all this stuff. I've got so many projects on the go. I've got the BB-8 build here, the R2 build. There's a Voyager I'm building for someone, and the Falcon is one for me, and my little house is basically just too little. Anyway, there we go. So that's what you should have. You've got a nice stable support jig for the framework so it doesn't get bent. Okay, so I think we've got some plastic parts to stick together next for one of the equipment recesses, so let's go and get on with that. Okay, it's fairly straightforward assembly. Just match the pieces, cut them off, fit them, use CA super glue as it's resin, and I think then what I'm going to do, because this needs light blocking, usual story, if I do that you can see the light straight through it, and I'm not sure if there's any hull above it. There'll be hull around it but not above it or below it, so well, I would normally light block it first, but I think in this case what I might do is, as it's a separate part, I'm just going to fill in the bits and pieces in here, mask that off, and then just lay it flat and then light block afterwards. 2 reasons: one is it's cold out there for spraying, and 2, I haven't got any of the silver paint left, so I need to go and get some more. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it this time. Don't normally do it that way, but there's nothing to stop us at this point just masking that off, flipping it over, and then spraying it later. So that's the plan. Okay, so at the end of issue 53, we've done the framework, we've done the jig, and we've got the little recess here which I've made up. I'll light block it later on. As I say, I think I said earlier, I don't have any of that reflective silver paint at the moment, so I shall have to get some in. So I'll just mask that off, turn it upside down like that, mask it off, and just spray it from that side to light block it. So that's it. So issue or stage 53 complete. So thanks for watching. I'm going to move straight on to issue 54. Right, so issue 54, more of the same. Oh, here's these bolts that we were told about earlier. Now I actually went out and bought some, but they were a bit overlong, so I'll swap those over. That's for the lower assembly. We got some more of the jig and some more framework and a few bits of extra details and bits and pieces by the looks. So let's see what we got this time, shall we? We've got some more ships from the prequels, and just some more facts about the Star Wars universe, etc, etc, how bits of the Falcon work, and then we get into our next parts. Okay, so right, so framework first, and a little bit of looks like we're going to use the jig here, so I'll get all set up and let's get on with issue 54. Okay, now we've got a bit more of the jig which is extended round. We can actually do the next parts of the build actually on the jig, so nothing gets bent or out of place. It'll hold the whole thing steady. So I'm just going to carry on with this now. This is all fairly self-explanatory. It's just frame building again, which we've done lots of by now, so you don't need me to bore you with that, I'm sure. Oh, interesting. Right, so we've got a battery holder coming up next. Battery box, yeah, holder and assembly, which is going to go onto the inside of the top of the upper hull by the look of it. So that's interesting. Right, let's get this done. Okay, so at the end of stage 54 or issue 54, page 11, this is what you should have. So we've just added this bit around here. We've added another piece of the support jig, and we've added TF 19 and 20. Just moving along from the previous issue. So let's get on with that battery box. Okay, this bit's a little bit counterintuitive. When I built this, it felt like the battery box, obviously it's got to go inside the frame, but it feels like it wants to be installed from the inside. It doesn't. Install it from the outside. It's not overly clear on the angle of the photograph, but that's actually installed on the outside in like an underskin type setup. So when you look at it from the inside, you can still see the framework. Yeah, so I had to think that. I had to just double check as I was telling you, because I thought I got it wrong, but no, that's apparently how it fits. So it is on the inside, but it's mounted from the outside. And that completes this issue. So that's the battery box and a little bit more of the frame done. So we're getting there. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope it's been helpful. I'm going to get on with the next issue. Hi everyone, it's issue 55 time in the Build The Millennium Falcon series. What have we got? We've got, I recognise that straight away, that's some of the hull. That must be where the radar dish is going to sit. A bit more framework and some, well, just general bits and pieces. So, let's make a start. Okay, so in issue 55, or stage 55, whatever you like to call it, we're just continuing on round. We're coming around towards the other passenger corridor, which leads out to the escape pods, etc. And then we've got some more bits and pieces. I'm not quite sure what they are, so let's see what we've got. Okay, a little heads up for you here. Now I've just made a mistake, done something wrong. I'm not sure if I just got distracted and wasn't thinking, or whether the instructions aren't so clear. I'm not sure. So anyway, I'll tell you what I did. I'm just on issue or stage 55. I've got parts TF 21 and 22, I think they are. Yeah. And the first thing it tells you to do is fit TF 19 to 17, which is this bit here. Well, we've done that in the last one. So I was a little confused. In fact, I think that's wrong, isn't it? Yeah, I think the numbering is wrong here. So anyway, but what I have done wrong is I've put the radial rib between 17 and 19. And according to I put the radial rib on the end of 19 to go between 19 and 20, or 19 and 21. But it looks like, according to the diagrams anyway, according to the photographs, the radial rib should have gone between 17 and 19. So I'm a little confused. Actually, no, I think the number's wrong. I still think the number's wrong. I think maybe I did do it right then, and it's the numbering that's wrong. How bizarre. It'd be interesting to see if anyone else runs into this little problem, because it's all very confusing. Okay, so that's where we should be ending up at the end of issue 55. I'm pretty sure there's some typos in that. I think they've got the numbering wrong, so let me know in the comments if it's me going nuts or if there really is an issue there, a problem there. So anyway, right, let's crack on. I think the next thing is to put the actuators over on here. This is the back to the lower hull for the entry ramp. Okay, and that's basically it. That's what we should have. And that's really it for me on this issue, because I've already gone ahead and fitted the recesses. I did that some time ago. So it's probably what I might actually do is just take them off and just repaint them inside and get to the bits that you can't really reach doing it later. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for this issue. So on to number 56. That's the end of number 55. Thanks again for watching, and I hope it was helpful. Hi again, this is time for issue 56 of the Build The Millennium Falcon series. This is the last of the batch of 4 that I had delivered a few days ago. So what we'll do is we'll get on with this, and then I can edit this all together and put it up as a video for you guys. Without further ado, as they say, let's get on with it. The first part of stage 56 is detailing the thrust vector plates. Now I've already gone on ahead and done this, I'm afraid, so I'm already a bit ahead. But basically it's just fit the parts that you should have stored from earlier, unless like me you went ahead and fitted them. There's certain ones, different sizes. There's one, if I remember, is a different size to the other, so do dry fit them first before you glue them in place. Make sure you know which is which. I think it's this centre one there. Look. That's the short one. So be careful when you glue them. Make sure you pick out that one first. Otherwise, if you try and stick that elsewhere, you could get into a spot of bother. But I don't think it will fit anywhere else. So it should occur to you very, very quickly. But just to warn you, there is one that's shorter than the others. That's the central one. Okay, so we've got some final details going in now. Crikey, that sounds like we're getting to some final stages, doesn't it? Okay, so yeah, so it's just hull detail, plastic parts. So I'll crack on with that and show you anything that's important or relevant or bring up any issues. Okay, issue 56, really, certainly for me, because I'd already done the thrust vector plates, was sort of half done. The remaining half is just these little details from the sprues from previous issues. Some of them are a little bit vague, the descriptions. They don't give you the numbers. They just say, you know, glue the ends of the larger L-shaped pipe into these 2 holes in the machinery behind the turret. That one's quite easy to suss out. That one makes a little bit more thinking about, but basically it's all fairly straightforward. And I think they thought it was fairly straightforward, so the descriptions got a little bit vague, but it's all done. It's not too bad. It's basically it's little items like these here, the little pipes here, these pipes here behind the turret, and there's some what look like actuator arm rods, whatever you want to call them, just in here. But once they're done, it should be starting to look pretty detailed on the underside of the hull there. So anyway, that's it for issue 56. Seems like I've got through 4 issues in very little time, but there we go, it's all done. So I shall get all this video put into some sort of order that makes sense, get it edited and get it up on the site, up on YouTube, hopefully later today. We've got quite a bit of hull sections starting to collect. So what I'll do in the meantime, I won't show you now because you've seen me do this probably a dozen times already, is I'm just going to, when I get some silver paint, I'm just going to light block all these panels just in case any of the kit lighting or any additional lighting that I put in is going to shine through. But I won't bore you with that again. I'll do that in the meantime. For anyone who hasn't seen me do it, basically I just mask off the outside, spray the inside with a quick coat, a couple of coats of grey primer, and then a top coat of highly reflective silver like you've seen on the inside of the hull. And that's it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope it's been helpful. I hope I've managed to point out a couple of little traps that you may or may not fall into, but hopefully it'll help you avoid them. Anyway, thanks again, take care, and I'll catch you next time.